Alright, Kirin Combo! Woo! You ever go to sleep at 5 a.m. and then wake up the next day and think to yourself, I shouldn't have gone to sleep at 5 a.m.? Because that's what I'm thinking right now. Join match. Seems like a keep, Living End, or Death Shadow. Hopefully it's Living End, but it doesn't seem to be. Unfortunate. Oh, okay, so this might be like red black hollow one stuff. Uh we can lead on that. This Solitude is gonna be pretty nice. Okay. This is a weird Death Shadow deck. Probably not Death Shadow. So we can Solitude here. But then that puts me very far behind on cards. And I'm not sure I want that. They do take the Solitude. They have the Daredevil. That's bad. Double Street Wraith. They're at 7 life. If they're Grixis, I feel like they must be Death Shadow with Asmo. So here, Ranger-Captain for Conjurant would set up for Kirin next turn. And Kirin does blow up this. And they can only make 1 food off the cookbook. So I feel like that's the play here. It's punished by a second cookbook, but they didn't have it this turn. And we might combo next turn. It depends on what happens here. Even if they don't do anything, I might just Skyclave plus Giver anyway, just to get a Giver on board and also just like control their board a little bit more. Hopefully this isn't a second cook. I'll just take 3. Or second Asmo. We could sack the Ranger-Captain in response to an Asmo to keep them from casting the second cookbook. Soul Guide Lantern. That's fine. And they play Ragavan. They still have 1 mana up. So with this many lands in hand, Kirin Combo here would destroy this, and the tokens. They could be holding up Bolt. We can Skyclave the cookbook and play Giver this turn. And the benefit of that is that we can build our board a little bigger. And it's a little better against a removal spell. I think I'm down to do that. Take the cookbook, play Asmo, or play the Giver, and I won't attack in case they have removal off of the treasure token or just removal on their turn. They draw. So we could die to double bolt if I let this Asmo go through. They're obviously trying to. I don't know why they're attacking with this. I guess they want me to block here and then not block this is the idea. I think I'm fine with chumping here because the combo can sweep up the token next turn, and I don't believe I want to risk dying to double bolt. Okay, that's why. That's fine. Oh, Prismatic Ending. Wow. What a draw. Can get Hallowed Fountain here. Sick. Grixis, Asmo, something. I feel like probably Death Shadow is my guess, but I kind of have no idea other than that. At the very least, I think Forge-Tender is good against Ragavan. Rest in Peace is good against the Daredevil stuff. Revoker is good against Underworld Cookbook and Asmo. I believe they're playing discard spells if they're playing black. They might not be, but it seems pretty likely to me that they would be. I really didn't see much of their deck from what I just from what we played. Basically just Asmo, the Asmo package and Ragavan. That's basically it. I think I'm gonna go full mid-range here. Just board out the Eladamri's calls, bring in the Rest in Peace, probably Crusader. Oh, Prismatic Ending over Oust. This seems good. I don't want to cut Ranger-Captain if I'm cutting Eladamri's call, because the combo seems to be good against this deck. This hand is really good if it draws a land, but will it draw a land is the question. 1 land, 1 keep. And it can answer Ragavan on turn 1, so yeah. I wonder if they take Hierarch here. They do, alright. Uh-oh. We'll draw a land. I'm sure we can draw a land, right? Urborg gives me a third color for Prismatic Ending. A Turok. That makes sense. Just playing it on turn 2. Maybe he doesn't have the third or fourth land in hand. This deck was playing blue, right? I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, it's a scam deck. So it's got Grief and maybe Fury. That's the only reason they would ever play Malakir Rebirth. They just let it die, attack for 2, and pass. We did draw a land. I maybe need to start racing soon. So Ugin's Conjurant can block Torok, so I might have to play for that. I'm debating between these two. Or, sorry, these two. I can also play Rest in Peace this turn, because otherwise I would never get to play the Rest in Peace, like, ever again. But I don't know. They discard an extra cookbook, and they find Asmo. Well, at least they don't have Daredevil. We draw land, we can play Skyclave to get rid of the Asmo, and then we can also play the Conjurant at some point. Alright. They have enough cards for 2 Asmo activation. They're probably going to kill this end of turn, which is, I mean, I guess I'll give something protection. So yeah, the plan is to draw a land and then Skyclave the Asmo. And then after that, play the Conjurant to block the Turok. Well, I could have attacked last turn. This Hierarch can also block the Turok. I'm surprised they let the Giver live. But I guess they don't have a Daredevil in hand, so I think not attacking last turn might have been a really big mistake, like a really big one, because we're in a race right now, and they have 2 cookbooks, so they're gaining life. This Conjurant is gonna have to carry me. So the idea is to play Conjurant for probably a larger number, like 3 rather than 1, just in case they find a discard spell or another Torok, and this starts growing, because I do want to be able to kill the Torok when I block, even though I could technically block with a 1/1 and then protect it. Ooh, didn't take the Ugin's Conjurant. That's good. That's really good. Sounds strange to say that, I know, but that is very good for us. I think I'm playing the Conjurant for 3. Attack for 4. They're just playing it instead of doing something else. Okay. Or instead of discarding it to the cookbooks. So they would be at 4 life and 1, 2. Okay, I didn't have lethal there. I thought I might have had lethal for a second. But, a play I could have done was protected this, swung for 4, and then just hope they didn't draw a discard spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10 if I attack with it. They can block this and this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I think I might have been able to end the game if I had attacked last turn. But this will probably work out, I think. Might as well play this. And I'm also going to play my land in case they draw a second Turok. They didn't put the Turok back in their hand. They had a Turok in the graveyard. So we have 2 non-white creatures that Turok can't attack through. So now they start gaining life. If I swing out this turn, I could get in for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they gain 3, so that doesn't work. I'm going to play this just so they can't pump their Turok anymore. If they find a second Turok or an Inquisition. So they are playing Agadim's Awakening, Thoughtseize. Wait, what? I just block, right? Do I protect it? See, not protecting it could let them destroy my Kirin. I think that's okay. Oh no. Okay. I did not play around that. That was bad of me. I should have just let damage go through. Combat tricks. Oh, we still have the Hierarch to block with, unless they kill it. Oh, what's the snow-covered swamp? That looks really nice. I like that. Well, now they're dead, right? They can gain 8. Wait, block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's lethal, right? They can also, well, I suppose if they have a removal spell, like a 1 mana removal spell, they're not dead this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is just lethal. Math is for blockers, I suppose. Or math is for attackers, in this case. That game was pretty sloppy. towards the end and also in the middle a little bit. But we got there. Won the die roll. This hand has the combo, so I should keep it. But if we don't draw any other creatures, this could actually just end up being bad. That's a good creature to draw. Just messing with them a little bit. They hit Ranger-Captain. I hope they're not playing white. Okay. We can take out both of these. They're holding up counterspell, so I'm not going to cast this Skyclave. They exile Bolt. Does this say until end of turn? No, this turn. Oh, that's awkward. So they can Bolt my Hierarch. They can also cast that. They decide not to. So what I'm going to do is vial this in response to the trigger. Because I didn't want them to bolt this. I will take it up. More Aether Vials, okay. I mean, I guess I'll play it. Sure. And then we can go for Aether Vial, take up to 4 maybe. Unless they have Archmage's Charm here. They might steal this. Steal that one. Okay. I think I should let that happen. So when they attack, I'm going to Skyclave this in. And okay. I guess I won't do that. I was gonna try and get their Ragavan, but they played around it. Good for them. Alright, that is bad. I'm going to draw to try and find Solitude. Didn't find Solitude. So the two options are the Darcy or the Hierarch. This feels bad. The Hierarch is so good with Murktide. It just, okay, I'll take it. If we draw Oust, we'll want to take their second blue source so they can't counterspell it. Say yes to all of these. Ranger-Captain. I'm thinking of a couple different lines. So Vial in Kirin, Armageddon, Captain for Giver, and then start blocking this Murktide regions. The other line is Captain for a second Conjurant, Armageddon, then Conjurant for 1 to get rid of these. But then I think I'm going to have a hard time against all this stuff, or against this Murktide. So I'm gonna go like this, and then hold up the Ranger-Captain and see what they do. I have to take 6 here. Yeah, right now I think my only option is to Captain for Giver and start blocking with protection. I will take up, we can keep this one on 3, take this one up to 5, and this one can stay on 1 as well. Attack with the Captain. I shouldn't, attacking was probably too risky, because they can get in with this Ragavan. They don't. I have all the Aether Vials. This one can stay. This one can also stay. Say yes to this one, and yes to this one. We have 2 copies of Solitude, 4 copies of Eladamri's Call to find Solitude. Although if they find Delirium here, we're just dead. They put a card on top? Oh no. What does that mean? I have to chump next turn. So if I play the Conjurant for 1, I lose Solitude as an out to Murktide. If I play it for 0, I might just die to these Channelers and stuff. There's a decent chance they put a land on top. But they could have also put another Unholy Heat on top. This is a very tough position to be in. I'm gonna go for this. Last ditch effort. Chump block. This one I am actually going to say yes to. And we'll say no to these ones. That does not save me, unfortunately. Okay, game 2. Oh, I'm pretty behind on time. I gotta start playing faster. So in this matchup, we bring in these cards. So this is 9. This seems to be traditional Murktide. So we'll just do what I normally do. I think I have one too many sideboard cards for this matchup. On the play, I think we can keep out this Prismatic Ending. So the reason we board out Skyclave in this matchup is because it's only really good targets in the non-Ledger Shredder versions of Murktide are Darcy and Ragavan, which are 1-drops. So it's like really inefficient to play Skyclave as an answer for those. And I would rather play like Forge-Tender as an answer. This is the version with Archmage's Charm. So they're better against Vial than the Blood Moon version. It seems they have a more control-y hand. I don't know what they're thinking about. I probably should have played the Marsh Flats instead of what I played this forest to give them less information if they had Vial. Or, sorry, Mishra's Bauble. But it's okay. This is a little tough. It definitely seems like they're holding up Unholy Heat or Lightning Bolt. So my Cathar might just die. I'm actually going to play Rest in Peace. Just while they don't have a counter spell up, Ragavan can hit me for 1 turn. I think that's fine. Can't cast that unless they're Jeskai Murktide. Hopefully they're not. Did they look at their... Yeah, they looked at their own deck. They didn't like what was on top. I don't need to fetch yet. They take the one that is 1 mana value. And for this one, I'm going to choose yes, I think. That gets them 1 turn closer to Murktide. But I have 2 Brutal Cathars. And I don't want them to be vialing in Darcy's and stuff. Not that that would be like particularly good for them, but still. They chose no. So that's how that works. So I maybe should just play this Brutal Cathar earlier. I might have played this wrong. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're gonna be hard casting Murktides. There's a Vial. I will just take this up actually. I don't think I'm going to block. So let's just get in a damage here. And we have a Boseiju to deal with 1 Vial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have enough mana to cast Murktide Regent. Okay, hope they don't have a 3rd removal spell. They did. Okay, I wish I had Dryad Arbor in my deck. Eventually they're gonna hit something off of this Ragavan, unless I find something soon. I'm gonna fetch. Say no. I might block just for this turn. They are taking this up. I will Boseiju it soon. Yeah, we just went too many turns without drawing the combo, and then they found all this stuff. Will I finally get rid of this Ragavan? Haha. Step 1, done. If they had a Murktide, I feel like they would have casted it by now. But they could have just been holding up counter spells this entire time. I'm gonna Boseiju this now. I think they're thinking of stealing this Vial. Not ticking up. Finally got something going. They do still have this Vial though. I think I'm safe to attack for 1 turn. Because if they have Ragavan, then it's like, you know, they make 1 mana. And hopefully that's just okay. Hopefully it turns out okay. They should have 1 Steam Vents left in their deck. And then 4 Spire Bluff Canals. That's annoying. I don't have many lands left in my deck myself. Just 1 Temple Garden and 1 Plains. And like the non-fetchables. Like 1 Flagstones. Or sorry, 3 Flagstones. Okay, so they are the Ledger Shredder version. Yeah, they don't have any fetchables left. So I guess this version's only playing 3 Steam Vents. I think they should have started taking up Vial a long time ago. But you know, whatever. That is a land, but it's not the ideal land. We really want to draw Solitude. Conjurant would be pretty decent as well. Second Giver isn't bad. Oh, I only have 8 minutes left. Okay, I gotta hurry up here. Oh, they found a red source. I am pressing the OK key furiously right now. Resolves. I can't auto yield because they could have removal. I guess I can auto yield now. Good on them for not going for the timeout. Alright. So if they're Ledger Shredder Murktide, I'm gonna want some Skyclave. The question is how many? And what do I take out? I'm on the draw, so maybe Prelate can come out. And maybe 1 Ranger-Captain? Okay, sure. I'm gonna start playing faster here. So excuse me if I don't explain everything I do. I have a blocker for Ragavan. I will Vial in the Forge-Tender if they attack. That's okay. We still get to trade with the Ragavan. And they've used a dress down. So now our Thalia is going to be pretty uncontested. And we drew the pathway for the Rest in Peace. We don't have a white card for Solitude. Okay, they go for the Thalia. I'm taking up both of these. And I'm going to auto yield. I think we're... Okay. I'm not going to play the Conjurant because they play Archmage's Charm. They steal the big one. I'm gonna tap it. Say yes to this one, and then no to this one. Play Giver, and I'll pass. I'm not cracking this because I want to draw a land to cast Solitude. I can auto-yield, or yield through turn. They kept a card on top. I should have been attacking these last few turns. I will take up the Vial next turn, since I can cast Celestial Kirin. They have Fury? Oh, no, Jace. That is very bad. We can start taking our time a little bit now. I don't think I'm in danger of timing out. Although we are gaining time on our opponents here. We could save this for Solitude, but I'm going to be attacking the Jace next turn, regardless of what happens here. Well, yeah, I'm still attacking the Jace this turn. They might chump. There's a possibility it would have been good to play this Conjurant, but I don't know. It takes some time to think. Always good to do that. Do they chump? They do chump. I'm gonna cast Skyclave. Hope it resolves. If not, then that sucks. And I'm not going after the Vial since I have a Solitude. Vialed in Murktides are always 3/3. Or wait, are they? I wonder how that works with Rest in Peace. Because, like, it's possible that every time they cast a spell, it triggers Murktide, but I'm not sure. It probably doesn't come up much. Casting spells, the Murktide deck, playing Murktide after Rest in Peace, and then casting more spells. We'll just take this. We're dead to double bolt. Or I guess we're not dead to double since we have the Forge-Tender. might be a punt to attack with it. Eiganjo lets me kill this token. Attack this turn. Eiganjo the token. Okay. It's still day. So if they cast 0 spells, okay. Well, I gotta keep up the pace here. I was thinking of playing it, the Conjurant. Thank you. If they cast 2 spells, I can flip this. Yes! Let's go! Man, that was weird. uh, okay. Yeah, oh. I don't know if I played that right. I mean, I guess I did since I won, but yeah, that was a long one. Rest in Peace does make that matchup really like it makes it a grind. Stealing the vial is it happens a lot, so you gotta figure out how to play around it. And the reason I wasn't playing the Conjurants at the end was because Archmage's Charm can steal it and could potentially give them lethal on the crackback, and I didn't want to give that to them. This is basically Vial, Thalia, and 1 removal spell. I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, this is better. Bottom Solitude because I don't want to pitch any spells on a mulligan. Oh no! The Boogeyman! No Renin 6, please! This means it's probably the 4-color deck, Elementals. No Renin 6, please. Okay. Hierarch might mean it's a different deck, actually. Which one is this? This is the Bant. So it could be like Bant Stoneblade or something. Pretty neat. I'm gonna play the Plains, attack for 1, and Eladamri's Call on the end of their turn. I want to Skyclave something bigger than this Hierarch. Like that. We're still set to, oh, shoot. I forgot to cast the Eladamri's Call. My bad, my bad. This could have been a good game. But now it's just kinda... I'm gonna try and attack the Teferi. Oh, I didn't notice they had Yorion. They should do this in my draw step, not my upkeep. Now, if I had played this Eladamri's Call when I had to, we would be in a much better position here. But it's okay. I'm gonna say no. Lion Sash. Interesting. Oh, well that's pretty good. So I'm gonna cast the Kirin. See what they do. Play this. Build some mana. They can make this into a 2/2. If they have another path, I'm gonna be a little sad. Getting the Thalia because I can cast it next turn. Hopefully they don't have the third path to exile in their 80 card. That is unfair. They had 3 paths in their hand. Bruh. This seems like it's going to be a race. They can turn this into a 3/3 next turn and a 4/4 the turn after that. I disagree with this. Okay, we drew a Thalia. We can still draw Skyclave Apparition, which is something. They do that instead of pumping because it still pumps it. Ooh, so this can become a 5/5 next turn. So if I play this for 1, unless they draw a land, of course, but whatever, I'm just gonna play this for 1 and try and we shall see if it works. Please don't draw a land. You had everything else. Just this one time. Come on. No land. Attack. Oh wait, no, this becomes a 6/6 because of the hierarch. Yeah, I have to chump. Shoot. I suck at counting. Oh, they had the land anyway, but they decided not to play around in instant speed. Damage spell. Am I gonna beat them down with Thalia Guardian of Thraben? Guardian of Thraben? And chump blocking? No! Well, that's the 4th path to exile. By the way, 4, you are legally only allowed to play 4 cards in your constructed 60 card deck, or 80 cards, I guess, in this case. Oh, I forgot it could do that. Wait, it's only a 2/3? So I can take this, right? I wonder why they equipped, because it was bigger before. Now I can oust this, or ousting it is probably worse than just, I'll just hold back my Giver and my Noble Hierarch. So if I oust this, the Lion Sash will fall off of it. Well, I probably could have still ousted it and then tried to Eiganjo it. That might have been better. Well, I couldn't, no, I wouldn't be able to Eiganjo the Lion Sash because it costs 3. This is weird. Oh, it's Rhinos. Wait, no, it's not. No, it's a Bant Cascade deck. Okay, I accept. They have 2 lethal attackers though, so I have to chump block with one of these. Well, if that's what it takes. If I draw a land, I can cast the Solitude. This game definitely could have been won. We'll go like this. It technically would have been better to block the Hierarch on this one and give it pro blue. And that plays around Teferi Time Raveler. Since I have to chump block, oh, I mean, we'll give her a rune. Technically still alive. Alright, they're Bant something. They're playing Lion Sash. It could be some kind of Death and Taxes list, but well, so it's a Cascade deck. Yorion Cascade, Tarmogoyf plays Lion Sash, so very likely that they play Stoneforge Mystic. They have Solitude, Abundant Growth. I don't think they would have Ephemerate in their deck. Something like this. Armageddon seems to be good against their deck. I don't think I need Brutal Cathar actually. It's maybe better than Oust. Ending is actually maybe worse than Oust. I'd have to think about that. Revoker can name exactly Teferi Time Raveler. Oh boy, I'm running out of time. Just 1 Solitude, 1 Ranger-Captain can keep this Revoker out. I'm going to try and stop their Solitudes with this. Thalia is good against Teferi and the Path. I think the base deck is pretty good against what they're doing. Yeah, I don't know. I've never played against this before. We can keep this. lead with this card. Well, I can't play Lavinia and Giver. I'll just play 2 Givers. I don't think they're gonna Solitude these. They could, but I don't think they're going to. And there's some merit in just getting 2 Givers in play, or getting an active Giver in play before your important creature. We do need to draw something useful. Okay. I guess that works really well with the Evoke Elementals, right? Makes sense to me. They might be thinking about it, or they were just reading the card. I will not pass when they cast Teferi. I will not let them resolve Teferi before I resolve my Eladamri's call. 2 mana, cast it. We got it this time. I mean, he's not really doing anything right now, so I'll just get my combo. Ha! They do get to connive. They don't protect their Teferi. I suppose they're just ticking it up. Oh, good play. They just drew an extra card with that. Let's get rid of this Teferi. Can play the Kirin this turn. Canopy, sack next turn. They are playing Stoneforge, so I would like to draw Ugin's Conjurant this turn, or Ranger-Captain of Eos. There's a chance they were sandbagging a land. So right now, I'm thinking about playing this for 2, just to get rid of this Ledger Shredder and the Stoneforge. But then they would still have mana to cast their spells and stuff. It's a bit tough. The hope is that we draw a Skyclave this turn. They choose not to attack. Oh, I think I should attack here. Getting 4 damage in this turn seems like it would be, it's worth going down 1 Giver. They discarded a Path to Exile earlier, so I'm kind of assuming they don't have another removal spell in hand, or at least not 2. There's Cauldra. Let's see, what does it say? Whenever it deals combat damage. Okay. We just give this Pro Black and try and race. That's very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not lethal. It's okay though. Let's see, I'm at 11, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think I can die next turn. Something really weird would have to happen for me to die next turn to this board. We get a Conjurant. We play it. Okay, got there. So knowing what's in their deck now, they seem to be a lot more creature heavy than not. They do have Path and Teferi, but their deck seems to be mostly creatures. I like the Brutal Cathars. Revoker is effective against Stoneforge, Mystic, and Teferi Time Raveler. I want to keep Eladamri's Call in my deck though, because the Kirin combo is good against them. We're also on the draw this time. I don't know if that changes much. Maybe go like this. I like the second Brutal Cathar. We can run it like this. This seems like a really good hand. Let's see if it's fast enough to keep up with them on the draw here. They liked whatever card was on top. Oh boy. Givers. Very good. Okay. This is a really good hand. It is missing an Ugin's Conjurant though. This call can find Kirin, but yeah, we do need to find a Conjurant at some point. Okay, we drew the Kirin naturally, so I guess we're finding the Conjurant with this. And we have 2 removal spells. We have Thalia plus Giver. We can take 2 this turn. They could have Teferi to bounce the Vial. They have Shardless Agent instead. They revealed those cards. They don't cast Path. So they have 2 Solitudes on the bottom of their deck now. That's really good for us. I'm tempted to get Lavinia, but we have a Giver. So I think we should be fine as far as protection goes, like from removal. Pick this up. No land is not ideal. You can just play this Thalia. Stoneforge, okay. We might want to set up Kirin for 2 at some point. Maybe. Kinda not sure yet. We have a Brutal Cathar to answer this Cauldron Complete, because Skyclave can't hit tokens. That's an important distinction to make with this card. I've missed that several times before. I will take 3 here. Okay, let's activate Vial to try and force them to play Solitude, if they have it. Okay, we didn't actually have it, but If they had Solitude, they would have done it there. Yeah, that's one way to force that. So here, we're definitely playing the Hierarch. I'm debating between Skyclaving this Stoneforge Mystic right now. We can also go for Skyclave next turn to trigger the Kirin, blow up this thing, get the Tarmogoyf. But if we did that, we wouldn't be able to play this Brutal Cathar because it would blow up alongside this Shardless Agent. I think instead... Well, okay, I know what we'll do. We will violin this Brutal Cathar, but we're going to get the germ token of the Cauldron complete instead of, yeah. And then when this dies, it won't give them anything back. The other option is to vial this in and get a giver, which is okay, but I think we want to deal with the germ token and also be greedy with a Skyclave. Teferi would be bad here, because they could bounce this. That's fine. We can even just chump block this Goyf, since we're planning on using this Brutal Cathar anyway, or blowing up the Brutal Cathar anyway. Another option is to eat this Shardless agent with the Brutal Cathar. Let's see. I guess that it works out the same either way, actually. I guess they might have 2 removal spells, but they don't do anything. And I'm going to chump block this Goy. Yes. And I can just let it die. Yeah, we'll just let it die. They can't have Teferi here. And I'm gonna take up this Vial. Vial in the Kirin. Cast Skyclave Apparition. Oh, I didn't know it was turning to night. I don't think that would have changed much. Plan does not change, I believe. I think I will cast the Ugin's Conjurant combo first. Just float mana. Cast this for 0. Because I think getting rid of their lands is a little more important. Because this Skyclave can hit Goyf even if I don't like blow up this. Or even without this Kirin in play, it'll still take out the Goyf. So this is, it's okay. Like, I want to guarantee that I have the Conjurant. I should have... Oh, okay. This works out. Okay. They don't have a second card to pitch if they find Solitude here. They get a Hierarch. Makes sense. We can even go Eladamri's Call, fetch Solitude. But since I still have the Kirin in play, I'm gonna do this. They have a Noble Hierarch in hand, a Stoneforge Mystic in play, no lands. I think we're winning this game. Nice. Okay. 3-0. Can we make the 4-0 happen? Let's see. They're going first. We have Ramp, Removal, and Thalia's. Maybe Murktide again. Oh boy. I'm kind of not ready to play another another like hour-long match. So whatever we play here is probably gonna die. I think I want to save the Oust for Murktide Regent. So I guess we'll play the Noble Hierarch and accept our fate. Being on the draw is certainly worse against this deck. This happens way more often than it needs to. I swear to God. Literally, oh my god. Like every other time I play against Ragavan, it hits my Noble Hierarch. I'm just gonna Solitude it. We're short on mana, so I just want to get one of these cards out of my hand. And do something to the board this turn. They still have this though. 2 Channelers. They have Counter Spell up. We'll play Vial here. They decide to counter. On top? Okay. Still saving the Oust for Murktide because that would just insta-win the game if I don't have an answer to it. They still can't find Delirium. They need a creature or artifact. And they keep a card on top. Yeah, we're just gonna get tempoed out of this game, it seems. We can take one more draw step and then concede. I don't know what I could draw here to get out of this. I don't know. They just attack. Okay, they attack for 5. I will take 5. I'm gonna try and cast something. Try and get them to counter it. I want to see if they have Archmage's Charm in their deck. Okay, that's just normal counterspell. They have a Darcy on top right now, I think. So, still not sure if they are the Archmage's Charm version yet. I haven't seen Letter Shredder, so I'll just board this out right now. Or for now. But we can change it later. Oh, no. Unfortunately, I can't keep that hand. It did have Rest in Peace in it, but it had a little too much Rest in Peace. Put back a fetch land. No turn 1 play. I am going to jam Thalia. I need a Ranger-Captain of Eos next turn to really make this hand work. Ledger Shredder. I guess they're all playing Ledger Shredder now. He's so strong. You know, I am splashing blue. I could play Ledger Shredder in my deck. I could. Not sure if it would be a good idea. But I don't know, maybe. Maybe. Fury do be like that sometimes. Yeah, no Forge-Tender kind of hurts this hand against Fury. We swing for 2. We take 2. That's something. At the very least, they're not casting Murktide. They left and rest Spell Pierce. Okay, they got it. uh, Fury plus Spell Pierce. Alright, fine. Fine. I'm just gonna tick this up to 4 and 5. Here's Murktide. Yeah, it seems like their draw just worked out pretty well against us. That Fury hurts a lot. The Spell Pierce also hurt a lot. This is basically the only card in my deck that they can Spell Pierce on the draw. Oh my. Oh, well there's this, but the odds are decently high that they have a removal spell. Okay. So this is how the streak ends. We were 8-0 with Kirin Combo until this match. Oh boy. Oof. Those are some big boys. Is this lethal? No, it's not. But I mean, you know. At least let me prismatic this shredder, please. Okay. That's all I wanted. And we are dead on board, even with the solitude. Wait, let me just take that. Good games. And so the streak ends. It was a good run. Let's make this a 4-1, shall we? Opponent found. Okay, they won the die roll. This hand sucks. This hand isn't much better, but I'm gonna keep it. We have the Canopy for a redraw later. They have a Ragavan. Seems to be Murktide again. We can lead with this. The odds are high that they have removal. I wonder if they cast that. Probably not, if I had to guess. I think they're thinking about it. Okay, they just tapped wrong. I'm glad I'm not drawing that, at least. We can just get the Hallowed Fountain here, because they don't really have any 3 drops that we want to Prismatic Ending. So, just getting this out. We don't mind if this dies to the Kirin combo. I'm gonna play this. A counter. It was actually... It might have been better to play Skyclave there. I would rather get the Skyclave countered. Sorry, I wasn't really thinking. So here's an expressive iteration. They can find a land drop with it. I think this will be a classic case of Murktide deck on the play. Just get so much ramp from the Ragavan that we just can't keep up. I am going to get rid of this because this can become a 3-3 and race our Kirin. Yeah, so the only way I can play around Counterspell is by casting this end of turn. It's really the only way. They have 6 cards in hand. They 100% have a Counterspell here. Like, it's not even a question. I will still get the Solitude, but the odds are very high of this just kidding. Yeah, just got templed out. Giving blue-red decks ramp is just very pain. Because blue-red decks were not, or blue-red cards were not balanced with ramp in mind, really. Okay. Guess we're doing the same thing. I feel like all of these decks are playing Ledger Shredder now. Should I just keep this guy in? Yeah. I might have to change up my sideboard plan here. Because this doesn't seem to be getting the job done reliably. I might cut one Giver. Just so we have more like higher cost cards in our deck. Yeah, we can try cutting the Giver. If this turns out to be the one Murktide deck that isn't playing Ledger Shredder, I'm gonna be livid. Yeah, we'll keep this. I'll take it. So since we won't be playing this one drop till next turn, I'm inclined to take or to get Forge-Tender because it doesn't need to get rid of the summoning sickness to be useful. Okay, that doesn't matter anymore. Good to know about though. We draw land. Okay, that's pretty good too. Let me attack first. This is important to stop Fury. Okay, so we're just gonna tick up the vial. They can't Archmage's Charm. So if they have Fury, we really do not want to sack this. However, they have this Torpor Orb in play. So Fury makes 3/3s. A 3/3 double striker. I think I should prevent this. Because they're at 9, and I can race a Fury. The funny thing is, oh, okay, they conceded. The funny thing is, I don't want to blow up this Torpor Orb because Fury would then be a removal spell rather than a 0 mana 3/3 double striker. And in this specific scenario, I can actually erase a Fury for free. So we're gonna bring in the second ending because they have the Torpor Orbs. I'm also gonna bring in this Prelate and the Giver of Runes. Just a few more cards that are better against Torpor Orb. I think Prelate will be useful here. What to cut? Maybe we'll try one less Rest in Peace. I know people say that you don't always want 3 Rest in Peace versus Murktide because sorry, we're gonna Prismatic Ending this. Because you don't want to draw multiples of it. But my deck really cares about Murktide. Also Darcy is a big problem for this deck. But you know, Prelate's also very good. So, oh, do you think they left in Spell Pierce? If they did, I'm gonna cry. Oh, I shouldn't have played the fetch land, actually. I should have played this one. But maybe we'll draw like 5 lands in a row, and I'll be able to hold this. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna play this later, because it's not like useful right now. They kept a card on top. We'll just go Cathar next turn. No, we can play Ranger-Captain. We slowed them down a lot. In this case, I might want to get Giver of Runes. I'm not sure in what scenarios Giver is better than Burrenton Forge-Tender. Let's just get Forge-Tender. I don't like having to wait like 2 turns for the Giver of Runes to like get good. The hope is no Murktide this turn. They seem to be crafting their hand with these considers. They're not ditching many cards in here. They kept another card on top. Maybe that's a Murktide. It's not. I suppose it was Counterspell. I'm gonna go for Ranger Sack right now. Might look weird, but I think they're holding up Counterspell. And this is a scenario where they really want, or they're like preparing to cast Murktide, I think. So I want my Rest in Peace to resolve. I also want this Thalia to resolve. So Rest in Peace and then Thalia. We're just gonna fetch, yeah. I could have played Forge-Tender instead, but this taxes their mana more, so I think it matters a little more. They might just find enough lands to cast their spells. Sacking that Ranger Captain does make this game go a lot longer, I will say. They bounce it. Okay, I can replay that eventually. They ditch a Bolt, probably because of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 1 land away from hard casting Murktide. Still not attacking. Ooh. So I want to try and draw out a counter spell. First we can attack for 2 or 3. If they dash Ragavan, let's just attack. They're at 9 life. They have to fetch in order to counter this Rest in Peace this turn. And they chump blocked. Is now the time? No, let's Rest in Peace. I don't know how we can lose if we can exile their graveyard this turn. Counter spell. Let me think about whether casting this for 1 is actually good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's probably not. But it's good to ask those questions if you're playing this kind of deck and this kind of matchup as well. Counter spells. Whenever your opponent is tapped out, think about what you can play to take advantage of that, etc. I wonder if they boarded out Ragavan because they've been playing really control-y these last couple games. I mean, maybe it was just their hands, but they haven't drawn Ragavan. There's a Ledger Shredder and a Oh, EE. And they can sack it this turn. Right now, I'm considering whether I want to cast the Kirin combo next turn, or just resolve this Brutal Cathar this turn. They are at 5 life, and they're going to be at 3 after I cast this. So I think it's worth doing this. And now it might actually be good to cast Ugin's Conjurant for 1, because they're at 3 life, and I have 2/2 creatures in play. The thing is, if they find a removal spell off this islet, they're gonna get this Brutal Cathar, right? And then they're gonna have a blocker in play to block both this and this. So I think I should hold back and then try and win a longer game in the event that they find removal for this Brutal Cathar. So Murktide is actually kind of okay here, since they're at 3 life. They discard a land, probably assuming that I don't have it. But I do, and I will trigger their Conniver here. I think I have to. I'm going to play my land in case I draw land 3-drop. Well, actually, in that case it wouldn't matter, but whatever. They can't attack. That just wins, right? Yes. Nice! We got there 4-1. Not quite as good as a 5-0, but still very good. I think we made some tight plays towards the end. Yeah, nice. I think we ran into Murktide 3 times that league, and we beat it 2 out of 3 times. And one of them was a really long one. I do think the Murktide matchup for this deck is slightly favored post-board, but in Murktide's favor for game 1. And the die roll matters a lot, because if they get a Ragavan on turn 1, on the play, they have a pretty good chance of winning that game. Like very high chance. As you saw in match 4. But yeah, I might change up the sideboard a little bit. I don't know. Cool. I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you for watching, if anyone is.